China. Stretching 3,100 miles, 5,000 kilometers, from east to west and 3,400 miles, 5,500 kilometers, from north to south, China is a large country with widely varying landscapes. Official name, People's Republic of China. Form of government, Communist state. Capital, Beijing, Peking. Population, 1,397,897,720. Official languages, Standard Chinese, Mandarin. Money, yuan, or renminbi. Area, 3,705,405 square miles, 9,596,960 square kilometers. Major mountain ranges, Himalaya. Major rivers, Yangtze, Yellow. Stretching 3,100 miles, 5,000 kilometers, from east to west and 3,400 miles, 5,500 kilometers, from north to south, China is a large country with widely varying landscapes. Its territory includes mountains, high plateaus, sandy deserts, and dense forests. 1/3 of China's land area is made up of mountains. The tallest mountain on Earth, Mount Everest, sits on the border between China and Nepal. China has thousands of rivers. The Yangtze and the Yellow rivers are the most important. At 3,915 miles, 6,300 kilometers, long, the Yangtze is the world's third largest river. With a population of 1.4 billion, China has more people than any other country on Earth. About a third of the population lives in cities. The rest of the people live in the country. Arts and crafts have a long history in China. Thousands of years ago, the Chinese were some of the first people to use silk, jade, bronze, wood, and paper to make art. The artistic writing called calligraphy was invented in China. Much of China's modern beliefs and philosophies are based on the teachings of a government official who lived nearly 3,000 years ago. Confucius, also known as Confucius, taught people the value of such things as morality, kindness, and education. China's diverse habitats are home to hundreds of species of animals and plants. More than 3,800 species of fish and hundreds of amphibians and reptile species live in the rivers, lakes, and coastal waters. China's forest wildlife is threatened by logging and clearcutting, clearing the land of all trees for farmland. Expanding deserts in the north also shrink animal habitats. The Chinese government has created more than 1,200 reserves to protect plant and animal species. The giant panda lives in the misty mountains of southwest China and nowhere else on Earth. They eat bamboo and usually live near stands of the woody evergreen plant. Pandas have been hunted and only about 1,600 remain in the wild. China is an authoritarian state ruled by a very powerful central government. A huge workforce and lots of natural resources have driven economic change. This has forced the communist government to permit more economic and personal freedoms, but it has come at a huge cost to the environment. Many experts predict that the 21st century will be the Chinese century. Whether or not that proves to be true, there is no doubt that what happens in China will affect many other nations. China is the home of one of the world's oldest civilizations, but it has only recently become a modern nation. In the last 20 years, China has changed faster than any other country in the world. Chinese history is divided into dynasties, each of which marks the period when a line of emperors ruled. The first empire was the Qin dynasty and began in 221 BC. The last emperor was overthrown in 1912, and China became a republic. The communist government began its rule in 1949 following a civil war with the Chinese nationalists. Ancient China was a land of invention. For centuries, China was way ahead of most other countries in science and technology, astronomy, and math. The Chinese invented paper, the magnetic compass, printing, porcelain, silk, and gunpowder, among other things.